Hello and welcome to the Scarf Bergara Wore, the Stockport County podcast for fans by fans. With me, Russ Johnson. I'm joined by my right-hand man, Waggie. You all right, mate?
Yes, very well, very well. And yes, Alan Rowe, we're still cheery even after last night.
Oh, yes. We're going to slap a load of glitter on that shit, aren't we? Definitely.
Oh, got bucket loads of it.
Bucket loads of glitter for that shit. Yeah, obviously we'll talk about it. Well, in fact, look, let's not talk about it now. We're going to get straight into it with our new fan guest once we get him out. Thank you for our sponsors, Overpass Clothing. Thank you to them for sponsoring us for this season. And we're in partnership with Edgeley Conservative Club Coaches. Do go onto our new website, www.scarfbergarawore.co.uk. All of our blogs, videos, podcasts, news from around the internet, around county are all on there. And there's a predictor game, and you can get links to all of the coach providers associated with Stockport County. So it's a one-stop shop to get your links for everything, really. It's good, isn't it?
Brilliant. If only we'd have thought of that. Oh,
it does. Yeah. But don't go anywhere now. Don't go and look at it now. Stay here, including you, Waggie. Don't go away. So stay here.
Put it up. If I go quiet, I'm just thinking about my predictions.
Right. Brilliant. So we'll talk about the game last night. We're going to talk about the Huddersfield win on Saturday. We're going to talk about Super Odin Bailey, the new roof on the railway end, and we've got a random shit of the week, and we have a brand new fan guest as well. No Andy tonight though, Waggie. What's up with Andy? Is he
He was pissed last night, wasn't he?
Oh, of course, yeah. He went to Salford.
He's got an hangover.
Yeah.
Sat eating paracetamol and sipping water.
Yeah, I wonder how many people got parking fines last night.
Oh, parking fines. Yeah. No, I was going to say accosted by Andy.
Oh, right. Probably loads of those. Yeah, definitely. Right. Everybody who's on the live chat, thank you for joining us. All the usual names are there, plus a few more, which is good to see. Get involved in the chat and we'll read some out as we go along. First things first, so we have got a fan guest who's a debutant. We get the banner going. If you haven't been on before and you'd like to come on as a fan guest, please do get in touch. The details are on your screen below, or just email Andy Redding at scarfbergarawore.co.uk. Or just talk to one of us at the match or whatever, or just message us. Anything. Everybody is welcome. Okay, let's get our fan guest out. It's debutant fan guest, Ryan Bradley.
Hi, fellas, you all right? You, mate? Oh, sorry.
Not quite yet, Ryan. You were a bit early there, mate.
I went off a bit of technical problem there.
Yeah, peaked too soon there.
Got excited. I'm done now. I'm leaving.
Brill. Right, let's get into the fan guest questions. So, Ryan, give away your age. When was your first match?
April 92, my first match. It was away at Bury.
Away game was your first match?
Nice. It was still draw. It was drab. And
how old was you and what do you remember about it?
I remember Francis missing a chance at the end. I was at, because it was at Gig Lane, and it was just like it was a shack at the time, basically. And there wasn't many of us there, and we're all piled in. I was only what would have been 9. I'm 42 now, so it was Francis missing a gilt-edged chance at the end, which. But yeah, 0-0 drab draw, and then I went to Wembley for the I think it was Autoglass the season later when we got beat up Port Vale. County was my first job. I was 14 when I turned up for a job at Edgeley Park, but I was too young to actually work on the concourse. So they gave the little cupboard. If you come up the concourse, there's a little cupboard on your right hand side just before you get to all the kiosks, and there's a little cupboard door, and that was where they used to have me cleaning the cupboard every week. It wasn't getting messy, basically. I was cleaning my own mess and changing the video over 96, 97 highlights, and we used to have a video player in the back, and I used to turn that that was my first job at Edgeley Park. I was there till 2003 when we got our neighbours for a bit, didn't we? So we tried to destroy the club. So I was there for 6 years.
Wow, that's cool. So let's just talk about that bit before we go into your other questions. That's really interesting. So go on, tell us, right? So your job was to swap the videos over that played all of the goals.
So I got in. So where the NK lounges, the downstairs, the first lounges after the first kiosk in the Bergara stand.
Yeah.
I went in there. I was in, I was still at school, 14.
Yeah.
Best shoes, best Ben Sherman shirt, pants tucked in my pants, which obviously was a sacrilege at the time. But sat there, and I answered all me. He said, "You're too young. You've turned up, and you've interviewed really well. So we're gonna give you a job, but you're too young to work on the kiosks."
Right.
So and then I've turned up my first day, and it was literally, here's the cupboard, which had all the drinks, everything that they used to sell was based in the cupboard. It's all behind the counters now.
Yeah.
Everything we used to sell was based in the cupboard. So I used to make sure the cupboard was all spick and span. Maybe help myself to the odd chocolate bar, but used to own the club, so he's not going to be after me now, is he? But and then changed the videos over the 96-97 season highlights.
Wow,
brilliant.
I was there. That was my first show. I was there from 14 to 2003.
Wow.
So you were there. So you were there when you were old enough to work there. Did you go on to move on to anything else? Like,
I went on the kiosk, and then I worked on the bar. And he used to remember Gordon Taylor, God rest his soul. I used to work with his sister and his mum on the bar, and we were pulling pints, and you could only serve back then. You could only serve for the 15 minutes of half time. You could only serve beer then. So I was like pulling pints, but I'm 9 years sober now, but I was drinking at the time. So I got a message down from the steward saying, "Ryan, will someone tell Ryan to stop drinking? You're inciting the fans, because all these fans that are queuing to get a pint out." And I myself for the drinks, and we'd always pull too many. And it was like, well, you can't leave them, can you? So we just used to stand, a couple of us at the end, and just basically, well, it was the Robbie's lager at the time and Robbie's bitter, and it was crap. But it's a free drink, so you weren't going to say no, were you? So it was like a multitude of drinks. All the fans are fuming because they've not managed to get one at half time. I'm half cut, and there's a big row of drinks on there. There used to be shelves either side. So, but I remember seeing, I was working in the food bit on the other side. It just used to be one long row, if you remember. And I remember watching, Sunderland got promoted that year. I can't remember what year it was. Sunderland got promoted, and they'd let Sunderland fans in the front of the cheese land in the first couple of rows. And I watched, because I was sat back on the other side of the bar, and I watched the smallest guy. I could feel it was getting like, you could feel it in the air. And you watch this little guy, the smallest guy in the concourse, run up. It's like about a football factory, nutted this Sunderland fan, and it was just like a cartoon, everything like bits. My boss at the time was losing his mind. It was just like, well, it was great. I was just like, I used to talk, you'd like to see all like the players going past. I remember having an argument with Carlton Palmer when I was about 14, 15. Because like to speak, I remember shaking Carlo Nash's hand, and his hands were just like enormous, and he was dead sound. And I remember sitting down to drink with Brendan Elwood. We were just walking through the 1883 now, and him saying to me, "What do you do as a job?" So I just sat down with him, had a juice, and I was just chatting to him. And my boss come fuming past. He wanted me to be working. He can't argue with the chairman, can he? So I thought these little times that I had moments with people. But I remember saying to Carlton Palmer, you've come out of the 1883 where the bottom of the go up to the concourse there where the stairs.
Yeah.
Carlton Palmer's walking past. I went, "Good luck today, Carlton. How do you think you'll get on?" And he just said something under his breath to me. Like, "Oh, fuck off then." And I was like, at that point, I'd be like 14, 15, when you're full of testosterone. And I was like, who's he talking? Not obviously being a manager at the time, but I saw my ass properly with him. He was just, I mean, we see him enough these days on pods, and I think he speaks for himself these days. You don't even have to, he might have started that Hardiker goal, but he's, that's about. I'm not a fan of Carlton Palmer, so
no.
Stand by saying what I said to him that day.
Some people we've interviewed, sort of people, well, ex-players and that, I think more than one of them said he's the best manager in his head that we've ever had. That kind of thing. That kind of thing. So,
lunchtime, innit?
Yeah.
Hey,
It was good to interview though. I enjoyed the interview with him.
Yeah, he was good.
He was full of himself. He was the best thing before sliced bread. He created sliced bread.
He invented sliced bread.
I won't put it past him.
I know, claiming it.
Ludicrous.
Ryan, favourite game?
Still for me, is the semi-final second leg against Salford. I think about that and I rewatch that, even though it's recent. I rewatch it regularly, and I'm not ashamed to say I get a tear in my eye. I know how it finishes, and I remember being in that stadium, and I've been in that stadium. Obviously, worked there. You know, when we were close to obviously that time we nearly made the playoffs when it was the old what's the championship now. But that atmosphere against Salford, you could have, in the best way, you could have cut it with a knife. It was just, and obviously the way the game went, you know, swung one way, swung the other way. But it was just, for me, I could watch it again now. I love it. It's so
Brilliant.
But you know, there's other games. The 2-1 against City. You know, there's so many games. But I think the 5-3 against Bolton. You know, but yeah, I think for me the game against Salford, the final, especially after losing the first leg and it being dross, the first leg being dross, and it not being the goal's questionable in the first leg, so getting that kind of poetic justice in the second leg.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Because we have got a lot to choose from, haven't we? And I listen regularly to our Olden mates podcast, Boundary Park Alert System, and they ask the same question to their fan guests, and it's always the same answers because they've got about 4 or 5 matches to choose from the last 35 years.
When they're in the Premier League.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it's good though. No, yeah, I don't think anyone's ever had Salford before. I might be wrong. My memory's not the best, but I can't recall that. But that's a cracking one.
I think we have. I wouldn't remember who it was, but it's still a class choice.
Yeah, still a class one. Yeah. Favorite goal?
Favorite goal for me. I mean, you could say there's a couple. You know, Dicko's at Wembley. I think Gleeson's goal against Wickham, but I think Hardiker's goal against City. Just like I remember being there at the ground, I was still working there, and it was just. I remember there's a couple of times against City watching, like I remember whether I don't know if it was 2-2 or it was that time, and I'd finished work, I've walked down and I've sat in those first couple of seats, those first rows of seats in the Bergara stand, and you can see the City fans trying to climb over from the pop stand, stewards trying to fight, and I'm sat there like just watching it, just enjoying just the pure hatred on the City fans trying to climb in. It was great. So I think say that I reckon, but you know, you can't take away Dicko's goal at Wembley was phenomenal. You know, Gleeson's goal against Wickham, Ash Palmer's header. You know, it's just there's so many to choose from.
Yeah, fair dues. And favourite player, past? You can have past and present if you want. It's up to you.
Past and present, yeah. I think past Flinney. It was great. I was in the 1883 to the Rotherham game last season. And it was I had the worst toothache and I had so I couldn't eat my dinner. And it was like I was in a real world of pain. And I've nipped outside for a bit of fresh air. And I've seen Stevie Bellis walking with Flinney. I'm like, Stevie. I said, stop. And I was sort of running down my mouth, feeling like it's out here. It's running down. And I was like, he's like, you all right? I was like, yeah, can I have a picture with Flinney? And I don't do that, you know. In my job, like I'm a professional boxing trainer. I see all people from all walks of life, you know, dealing with these people. And I never once asked for a picture with anybody. But something about your youth and, you know, it's like, it takes you back to that moment. And I was like, I'm there fanboy, you know, as a 41 at the time. When he's been on the pod and he's sound and he was just like,
he's brilliant.
Loving every moment of it. I've never, like I said, I don't ever get starstruck. But it was just that, and I wasn't necessarily starstruck with him, but it was just seeing him. And remember, he was an absolute colossus, wasn't he? So
yeah. Oh God, yeah.
So for me, Flinney, it's just something else. And at the minute, Ollie Norwood, I think we're blessed to have. And I remember that first get he signed, did he, just on transfer deadline day? And he came into the team, and a couple of the passes were going awry, and I heard people, the detractors around, the usuals that sit near me, slagging, because they'll slag anything off. I think it's job for him most of the time. So I'm like, but I was like, it'll come good. He is class. And then you see it now when he gets that ball out of his feet, and you just think, sometimes I think when we had Sir Nick was here before he went to Bradford, I think he had a few. He had that mindset, he could see what was going on about 3 plays before, but there was no work rate from him. He should have been leading by example, but he didn't. And I think Ollie Norwood was just, I think long may it continue. I think he's outstanding. And I think making him the captain, I think obviously with Lewis being out injured, it's a big loss. But I think it's organic that he's captain. And I think I'd like to see him stay captain when Bate comes back into the side. I think it works for him. I think looking at what was the season before, and he was captain in Sheffield United in the Prem, wasn't he? And I think
the season before that, I think he was. Yeah, he got relegated, didn't he? But yeah, still stands up though, doesn't it?
Oh, he's a different, and he's absolutely, he's outstanding for me.
Yeah. Just quick question then before we get onto the sort of the proper agenda. Do you think he's the best midfielder we've ever had at the club ever?
I think he's. I think if you're playing top trumps with what he offers, we all have, like I said, these romanticised views. A lot of when we were kids and what we remember, or certain players. But I think if you lined him up and said like passing ability, vision, work rate, I think he's coming top. And I think a lot of times these days, people won't say, well, he's the best ever or he's the best ever because they're still playing. But why can't, we appreciate him? I think he is. I think he could possibly be. It'd be great if he pushes on and we get promoted, and then even those with the rose-tinted glasses who sit around the ground who are still looking at, George Best played 3 games for us and are still thinking he's the best player to ever play for us. We've got these people in mind that they can see that he is. He's just a different class.
Yeah, fair dues, good one. Right, so you're going to stay for the rest of the show as is a fan guest duty. We're just going to get straight into it. I think what we'll do, I did say Huddersfield, Bailey, Salford defeat, but let's go with the Salford defeat because that includes Bailey, and then we'll go back to Huddersfield. So let's talk about last night. I didn't go. I know you didn't go, Waggie. Did you go, Ryan?
I did. I was working. I caught the highlights. I watched the highlights last night when I got in, and I watched them again. So I put myself through it again today. Just
I was going to say it must have been short.
Quite today. I wanted a bit of self-harming, so thought I would emotional self-harming. So I thought I'd watch the highlights again.
What did you make of it? I watched the second half, so I missed. By default, I missed the first half because I only watched the second half. But it sounded like from the first half we missed a couple of chances where we hit the bar, and it didn't sound too bad from the first half. My lad said it was a bit drab, but in the second half, we may as well not have come out. That's generally what I got, and nobody made a claim for Saturday. And there is quite rightly 2 spaces going because of Benno and Onyango because they're obviously not there. So
yeah. I think it was a difficult watch. The first half, we've said it. I think for every one of these sort of type of cup games is. Those 11 players should be fighting for a place for Saturday, and none of them turned up or showed that they deserved a place on Saturday. I thought Moxon played all right for the first 20-25 minutes. He looked like he had a bit of zip back in him. He hit a couple of good strikes, a couple of good saves off the keeper. But again, we just looked sort of disjointed as if they've not played together.
I think with Moxon as well, I want to see from Moxon when he absolutely annihilated us at Wembley. I think I think he was outstanding, and I think he's got it in him, and he's got again, common theme. But the detractors, some people just want to go to the game for a whinge, I think. But I want to see that from him. But like you said, then there should be anybody who's on the fringes. Last night should be wanting to fight for a place. There's got Charlie showed that he'll move stuff about, and I think he had in mind his first 11, and I think he's surprised himself, that these maybe it hasn't worked for certain people, or certain people haven't gone to the level that they were at last season. So I think there's still places up for grabs, and I don't think anybody kind of cemented that. I think last night I think it was drab. I think like we have one good half at the moment, don't we? And I think if that was the first half, I think we were poor. And I know with a lot of people, you read social media and you can see that they're not really that too bothered about the trophy, especially in the group stages. But it was, for me, if I was on the fringes of the first 11, I would have been running my socks off last night or doing my absolute best to try and put my face in the frame for, Charlie, Hill and Conlon to be thinking I need to be starting on Saturday.
Yep. And the best, I think Bailey, when he came on, was one of the best players. Alowu he played well again. I was quite surprised to see him starting. Nathan Lowe, I think, was disappointing, but I think he was sort of trying to be or playing in Kyle Wotton's shoes. So he doesn't strike me as a target man. So I don't think we were playing to his strengths.
I think Watts is the integral part of if you're the way you play now, Kyle Wotton and my mate's dad who comes to the game is like, we have an ongoing thing because I'll always defend Watts. And even last season, I wasn't necessarily the biggest Watts fan, but I'd defend him just to piss him off. But I think he is integral now. So the way we play, that team isn't the same when he's not playing. I think, people, when Tanto left and everyone's like, I think a lot of people confuse hard work and, just running yourselves into the ground for ability, because he outscored Tant last season. And I think you can see with his good start to the season with his goal scoring, I think you can see the confidence is there. I think it might have lacked a bit last season. And he seems to have come into his own and like he's valuing himself with Watts. And I just think with Nathan Lowe, he's only young. And he's not going to, he can't play. He's not got the pace, but he ain't a Wotton. So, and trying to play him in that role is a bit unfair on him, really. Yeah,
he's kind of in between, isn't he, Lowe? So he's not got the strength and the target man presence of Wotton, and he's not got the pace of Tanto. So I just wonder where he fits in. And when you compare that with Brecky, and I kind of see at the moment, I've probably not seen enough of Lowe, but Brecky's more of a rounded striker than Lowe is.
Yeah, I think Brecky just needs to, once he scored, he showed today, once he scores, he will. I think he'll just go on a run and it'll be banging him in for fun. But I think he missed when Jack missed the one at home against Reading, Brecky missed one, and I think had he been full of confidence, it would have flown in. And with Nathan Lowe, we look at him at Walsall last season when he was there. So I know they're in League Two, but if you're a goal scorer, especially there's not masses between League One and League Two. I think hopefully it comes off for him. I know he's only on loan from Stoke, but Stoke have obviously seen something in him. Like he was doing it for Walsall, he's prolific last season. I'd like to think it'd be great if he could start contributing goal-wise for us. And it gives him that confidence in the centre forward as well.
Yeah. I think he'll play better with Wotton. It's sort of like the Brecky role. I think, there you go,
Anthony Nixon says he thinks Wotton will guide Lowe through the game and Lowe will score on Saturday. So exactly what you're saying there. I think, go on, carry on, sorry.
Yeah, no, I think he's not started that many games, has he, Lowe? He's always sort of come on when we're either up against it or we're really comfortable and he's not given that full game. Like I say, with Brecky, the only thing that's missing from Brecky's game is that goal. And as Ryan said, he'll go on that run for me. I think he will. And I think it's similar with Lowe. I think if playing next to Wotton, I think it'll help him a lot. And hopefully he scores on Saturday. And then he'll hit form. He'll have confidence. And then that makes it difficult for Charlie, doesn't it? Whether he leaves Lowe in or brings Brecky back in.
Well, Brecky's week, the way he was throwing himself, he reminded me of Alan Armstrong, the way he was throwing himself about and that strength and, comfortable with the ball at his feet. Obviously, he's not been able to finish, but he's running at defenders and scaring the life out of him. And he's only young. What is he, 19, 20?
20, 21.
But yeah, and I think Nathan Lowe's the same age, so they're only young lads, aren't they? And just going back to what you're saying about, Bailey played well again last night, and he's come back into the side, and I had a few huffs, and I had a mental huff when he started the other week. But I saw him outside the ground when I came out the other week, my little lad, and I said to him, "You are playing the best I've seen you play for this club." Even when he was on loan, I said, "I think you've been fantastic." And this is nothing taken away from his performance, but after the money we've shelled out this year, it's bad that we're relying on Odin Bailey. And that's no negative towards him, but to be relying on Odin Bailey to save the day, which he has been, he's been rounding. I know he's not had man of the match recently, but he's been rounding about. He's been in the little 2 or 3 players that they've been pivotal to the game. That finish last week was fantastic.
Yeah,
so we were right. We were right behind the goal, right behind the goal for that. And then watch it on another angle. I saw it the other day, and it was just it. And he's obviously playing with confidence, but we shouldn't. Like I said, with the money with the outlay and the players we've brought in, we shouldn't be really relying on him.
Yeah, but that's testament to Odin Bailey, though, isn't it? Because all these players have come in and they've challenged him for his spot, and he's probably the only one that I can think of really that was probably outside the first team and has come in and made a case to play in the first team, and he's probably the only one that's done that. Where the others, he was definitely down the pecking order, wasn't he? Like you say, with all the money we've spent.
Yeah, I think and obviously, we're not naming names, but I think with the money we've shelled out, and whether or not they brought in, I think what we've lost, just in my opinion, I'm not in the changing room, but you've got these characters, and I think we need to evolve as we go, as we go up, as we're wanting to fight and where we're wanting to be. You need to bring in new, but I think we've lost characters out of the changing rooms. It just looks like it, so people who are just gonna puff the chest out and pull other people up, not in necessarily the most negative way, but actually like, why aren't you doing this? There's a lot of more substance. There's a lot of style, but not enough substance for me at the minute.
Yeah, 100%. And that's why I raised my eyebrows when Sars left and Madden. Mainly Sars, really. I'd have kept Sars. And look what he's doing at Bradford now. I'd have kept him. But then when we looked at we did it at the start of the season, didn't we, Waggy? We looked at the midfield and we were like, if Sars was there, where would he? He wouldn't get in anyway. But
Sars is the only one, I think, and I agree with Challiners, who he's let go, Paddy now, and he was a great servant for us, but look at him now, and the people he's got, and I loved Fraser Horsfall, but I agreed with the Fraser, because I'm not, laying blame, but I think with a bit more pace, if you can pinpoint stuff, the goal against Leyton Orient, at home, I think someone with a bit more pace would have got to him, but so I was agreed with him on that. I backed him, and I thought, you know what? But I think Sars is going to be that one. I know the contract demands were different, what we were willing to offer and what he wanted. But I think, and whether there were question marks whether he could do it in League One, and I think he's answering everything. But I watched a pod with him on, and he was saying, "I've been doubted my whole career. And I'm proving. I'm stepping out to prove him wrong, time and time again. And he is, and." Good luck to him. He's a top bloke, but I think he's the one that. But where would he get in when everybody's fit? And you've got Luke, you've got Bate, you've got Norwood, in that set, you got Mox, that centre midfield area, and the way Dave the Challenger likes to set up, and where would he fit in?
Yeah, that's the trouble in it. There's a special mention from a couple of people as well saying Collar. He's obviously MK Dons now. Just a quick one. Hello to Liam, a regular watcher and listener of the podcast, all the way from Turkey. He's on holiday in Turkey. Lucky son.
Is he?
Yeah. Tell you what. Not sure about that. Anyone else from last night sort of stick out to you as maybe potentially? I guess let me swing it around. Who are you playing instead of Brecky and Onyango on Saturday?
For me, I don't want him to turn into a super sub. I just think Febs, for me, off his pass. I know he could have been a better finish last week at Huddersfield. For me, when he came on against Reading, he scares them to defenders. If you're a defender, having played football at a low level, and being played as a defender, if somebody like that comes on at, with 60, 70 minutes when you've been running yourself ragged and he comes on and you're like, you don't. It's your worst nightmare. For me, I'd start him, but it's how he fits in. It's how he fits in the team, because obviously Onyango's got a bit more of a defensive brain. It's where with this 3-4-3 that we set up with, I think it limits us a little bit. But I want to see more of Febs, and maybe give Nathan Lowe a chance.
Yeah, definitely. For me, Nathan Lowe up front. Defensively, I'd probably say O'Keefe, but I don't know. I don't really want to give another penalty away. So I might go with you, as you said, and start with Febs and be more of a back four, and have Febs a little bit further up, and maybe drop into a 5 if we're out of possession, which we seem to like to do. But yeah, I think, did you say I don't want Febs to be a super sub, but he is brilliant as a super sub.
Oh, and have that in your locker to look at the bench, and when you see the board go up and you think, and the crowd behind me, I've been up at tier 4, the crowd behind me, the crowd rise as soon as he comes up, and he does. I think sometimes though with Febs, I think he doesn't know what he's going to do. So I was a defender know what he's doing. I used to have a centre forward play like that back for me when we used to play Saturday football, and he used to score the most random angles because he didn't know what he was going to do. The ball's rolling off his feet, it's doing this, and obviously Febs is at a much better level. But I think sometimes when he turns him inside, turns him outside, and he does, I don't think he knows what to do after that.
Yep.
Is it possible?
2.0 Ollie Crankshaw. Sorry, Febs, if you're watching, please don't look up Ollie Crankshaw.
Alan Rowe says, "Where's Mingy?" Mingy's at Walsall or Crewe, one of the two.
He's on loan somewhere, isn't he?
He's on loan, yeah. He's on loan somewhere in here. Okay, so that's the Salford match then. I mean, I guess we're not bothered. Well, I personally am not bothered about it. Yeah, we've lost. It was more the performance I was disappointed with, to be quite honest with you. And it's nice not to be talking about a goalkeeper. So, which we've spoken. Yeah. Go on, Ryan. Go on.
So, I was gonna, last season I felt like Corey. Dave made his decision. Took him out. I think you can tell Corey's it. He's got his detractors and a fair share of them. But I tried to back him. You want to back your team. There's no point in slagging someone off, especially when they're a confidence player and getting on the case, because they're not all of a sudden going to think, shit, yeah, sorry, him in lower tier 3 said that I'm shit, so I better play better now. So you've got to get behind your players, and that's my mindset. But I just look at the times, and I am the first to say about Ben's kicking, his distribution sometimes is terrible. But I think, you look at it, Corey had not claimed it's unfortunate for him. He conceded 3 last night, it's a team game, but he's going to do his confidence no good. But he doesn't come out and claim enough. He doesn't claim enough. And Ben, since the Rotherham game, the back 4 or the back 3, just looked far more relaxed.
Yeah.
But Ben's let us, his distribution, to be fair, and I'll hold my hands up, has been much, much better than I've ever seen. But he still lets the odd one pop out. I saw him put the ball into the reses against Reading, and then he did when we're under the cosh against Huddersfield. He did it. So he's prone to a bit, but he's much improved. And I think it's good, like you said, to not be worrying about that it's such a pivotal role, and it affects the whole team as well.
Yeah, it does. Yes. Okay.
Sorry, Mingy is at Crewe. He's on loan.
Is he at Crewe?
Yeah. Season, I think it was.
For a season-long loan?
Yes.
Yeah. Sweet. Okay. Touched on it slightly, the game on Saturday, Huddersfield. I went. Ryan, you probably went, didn't you? You said before you saw it. I was right in front of that goal as well. Here's one for you. Do you think, because I've been thinking about this, do you think it's somewhere near or on a par with the time that we drew 0-0 with Fylde, if you remember? And it was kind of like this switching moment, and we all thought, hang on a minute, we're on here.
Yeah, I think it's that. it started to it had to be brewing, that it's got the stuff started to come together. And I think we've been because I look at the game against Bradford at home, and that first half was the best football I've seen us play this season. And I thought, look at some of the football we've played has been great, but it's limited to little spells. And I think we run out of ingenuity after recently. It's been 60 minutes in. It's like the switch goes off, or halfway through the second half, or even just the second half. But I think on Saturday it looked like, and I know we kind of made it a bit scary for ourselves at the end, conceding. But I looked at it and I thought, this is the point where people are thinking a lot. Huddersfield are there and about with and that's upper half. I know it doesn't really matter about the table at this point of the season too much as it does obviously in April, May. But everything started. I thought we needed a result. We needed a result on Saturday if we're going to then push on and make the season how we've intended to for the start. And I think it was an 8.5 performance. I think with this, obviously there's stuff we've got to improve on, but we look confident. We passed the ball well. We had a good few chances. Obviously, Jack missed one that he could have hopefully. I think he's lost a bit of confidence. Sometimes I don't think he's got that end product in front of goal. Sometimes he's outstanding. I don't have confidence with him, and the Fev's had a chance. But I think that it was like one of those pivotal switch moments that you need to happen to kind of push on.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with all that. I mean, the reason why I say it is because I was nervous before the game. I said on previous preview podcasts, I wasn't too confident about it. Huddersfield has spent a lot in the summer. I know they weren't great on form, but they were at home and unbeaten at home. So I was thinking, we're probably going to, based on what we'd seen before in some of the halves and some of the games that we'd seen, I thought we were going to get not our asses handed to us, but we were going to get beat. And then when we went down to 10 men, albeit 1-0 up, I'm thinking the worst here.
Yeah.
But it was that performance from being with 10 men that I was thinking, started to think, bloody hell, hang on a minute, we're on it, not just to win the match, but to go on a run. And I was thinking, I came out of there buzzing my tits off. I was. And I came out of there.
Getting out of the sea of bottles and everything else that was flying. I was sat with my pals, and James Jennings was sat with us as well. He's one of my mate's best mate, and he was like, about 10 or 15 minutes before the end, he went, right, I'm going. I thought, I bet you are, because you don't want to get spotted by anybody outside here, because he got on his toes, up, and he got off. So, but it was walking out the ground, and like you said, then I was buzzing. I think we needed that moment, like you mentioned about File, but that moment is, if we'd not come away, if we'd lost, obviously it's not the end of the world. If we've not got a positive result, it kind of starts to dictate. We're going. We've had some good results, but we're not. We've got games we should have won that we haven't, and the manner of we've not been winning games we should do, and when we've lost, we've properly lost. So to get that, you wouldn't even know we were down to 10 men on Saturday, and that was a mark. The lads that were out there that were putting a shift in, which I don't think we've seen enough. I think. All the parts we have are fantastic, but it's just not been cohesive enough. And I think we saw a bit of that cohesion on Saturday.
Yeah, 100%. We saw Burton went down to 10 men, didn't they? And we beat them. We went down to 10 men when we played Burton, and it looked like we had 11 and they had 10. I kind of chalked that off because it was Burton at home, whereas it's heightened massively because it was fucking Huddersfield away, wasn't it? So that's where I'm getting me chufties from.
Did you see the pictures of Brad Hills emptying his pocket after the game? His phone, his keys, Alfie May. It was every single player was a minimum of 8 or 9, wasn't he? They were all just absolutely up there. So, as you say, just dug in, and again, sort of, we didn't look like we had 10 men. We looked like we were still creating chances, and they had minimum sort of chances. Really, I think again, it's just a very, very late goal that just stops us getting a clean sheet. And from a set piece again, I think that's the only thing. And it was, again, it's almost like a free header, isn't it, in the box? But that's the only downside that I would say. But apart from that, we were excellent from
see how
from
much
front to back.
you know, Brad Hills, you know, giving their fans a bit. Dave saying what he said. You know, we've all seen the video. And it's just that bit of pride. I don't know how many people have sent me that video, and I'm just like, and I keep, even though I've seen it from one person said it, I've watched it again because
I'll watch it again, yeah.
because he's not held back. He's not held back on what he thinks. He's said what he thinks about the team. He said what he thinks about the fans when he said about us against Leyton Orient last season. He's said, and he's alluded to it bits and bobs. He's even said it about Clint Hill and Dave Conlon, you know, about a couple of, you know, about the chances and stuff like that. So he clearly puts pressure on himself, which is good. He's a winner. And I think that exuded out of him on Saturday with his little outburst, which was much appreciated towards the Huddersfield fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Good. I've only just noticed, by the way, Waggie, you didn't notice either, but the little thingy at the bottom said preview podcast on the screen. I didn't even notice. I've just changed it to weekly. Not that anyone noticed. Nobody would have noticed if I had not said anything, but I thought, I'll be honest with everybody.
Everyone will go back now and watch it to say, look at that. Complain.
I know.
Get a dislike. You'll get a dislike on YouTube.
Yeah. So right, let's move on then, because we're cracking on for time as always. So Railway End is getting a roof for the first time ever in our history. Now, why are you booing? I quite like it.
I want the away fans to get wet. Fuck them.
So we've got the plans of it now. For the audio listeners, well, we're gonna have to explain this to you, but we've actually dug up. I think Waggie, you dug it up, didn't you? The actual.
It was in a WhatsApp group, so all I've done is took a screenshot.
Have you drawn this up before, Dan?
just got me CAD out. So when I took a picture, I came back and just got me CAD out.
So I mean, you can see where that is. I mean, let's talk about it and get your comments in and get your thoughts in on this, on what you think of this. Now, first things first. Based on that drawing, are you for or against a roof? And I think I know your answer, Waggie. What about you, Ryan?
As long as I can see the scoreboard from my seat, I can live with a roof. I've seen some great moments with us not having a roof, obviously back in the day. And I think it really added something to it. But, you know, if we want to move on and the club wants to grow how we want it to, and we need to, I think it's great watching. I remember watching, I was sat up in my seat when we had MK Dons, I think a couple of years ago, and we're on Sky. And it was literally, and I'm in upper tier 4, and I could feel the wind and the rain blowing up towards me. And I think about 20 minutes in, I think the fans, and it got absolutely blown away with the weather. I think they thought, sod it, I'm going to go and watch it in the Bobby Peel, or I'm going to go and watch it somewhere else. It's on Sky, sit in the Oak, because it was literally. So I think it needs one. I don't understand the fact of having a temporary one, but I'm sure there's a method behind the madness. But why not just, you know, I know there's obviously the planning stuff's going through and stuff like that, but why not just leave it and do the permanent one? But I think it's not for me. I'll take it as a positive.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'd like it to be retractable so that it can be opened up when the away fans are in, and when we've got home fans in, it could be shut back again.
Get somebody there with the rope.
A little handle like that.
The handles aren't working this week, lads. Sorry, you're gonna have to get wet. It was there when your fans went last week. Must have seen it on the telly. It's the angle of the telly.
Yeah, I think somebody said at the fans forum, Simon Wilson alluded to something around maybe fines from the EFL, because you have to provide the away fans with a certain amount of covered seats. Now, I think we got away with it last season, where we said when originally we were just putting them in the pop side, and then what we sort of said at the end of the season was, right, instead of 900 seats covered, we can give you 1,300 seats, but there's no cover on them. So you take your pick, whichever you want to do. And I think that's why towards the end of the season, we had some of the big crowds in the as the away end. So I think it's a good thing. I think, where was it? Darren Bowden says, hopefully it should make the atmosphere better. He's put all for it, make the atmosphere better. So yeah, hopefully we'll be able to hear the away fans, and hopefully that'll raise us up as well.
For me, in a perfect world, you look at those clubs around the country. Well, the higher level clubs, the clubs in the Prem, they don't even have, the old home end away end is kind of an archaic thing these days. I'd love to give them just a bit of the pop side, and if we've got a roof, have our home fans in there and really, create that, like, just have that little minority in the corner. If we're playing a bigger side and they want to give a bigger allocation or whatever the rules are with the EFL or in the FA Cup or whatever we need to do. But I like the idea of just giving them, like they have at Old Trafford, that little quadrant, or Anfield or wherever, that little amount of seats, and we can then fill. So look at us against, with the, like we said, the Salford game in the playoff semi-final. We could have took them penners at either end. It wouldn't have mattered because it was all us. Yeah. And they had that little. So I like that idea. But if we're getting fined for not giving them that certain amount, then there's no point in letting money go out the door, is there really?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I've always seen the away fans because I don't care about them really. I want them tucked away in a corner where they can't be seen or can't be heard. Yeah, and I'd rather have all of this for county fans and making noise. There's two things on that image that stuck out to me though. The first one is the pillars in front of everybody that are going to get in the way. Now I assume they're not going to be very big. All the pillars at the pitch side. So that was one thing. And then the second thing, there's three things. The second thing was, obviously, they're going to raise the scoreboard by 3 meters, is it? I think someone's mentioned that before.
It does say it there.
Does it? What?
LED scoreboard height increased by approx 3 meters.
Oh, right.
Camera platform relocated and height raised approximately 3 meters. Do you want to borrow these?
Yeah, I think I do. Yeah, I can't see that. Well, the other thing on that picture that gets me is I want to know who's gonna like walk across the wire at the top, or is it like some sort of zip line between?
It's a zip line onto the pitch. It's
yeah.
Where Stevie's going, if we get promoted, is where Stevie Bellis is going to send himself on this season, isn't he? Now,
that's the point.
How much would we all pay to see that?
I know, yeah.
Get a GoFundMe going. I'll do the first donation.
But yeah, someone's put when's this meant to be up by. I think it's Saturday.
It's already started. I've seen pictures. There is pictures on Twitter of them digging up and putting the big posts in.
Yeah. So I think it's So they can't have started it and it not be finished by Saturday. Pretty much, I think that's it, isn't it? So yeah, but yeah, it's nice to see actually something actually happening though, isn't it? We're one step closer to the control box in the sky. That's the way I see it. One step closer.
You can't get a seat in there. You can't buy a season ticket in the control box.
You watch me. You fucking watch.
You just got you got Roy Keane, Rio Ferdinand, and whoever, and then just Russ sat behind them, facing out towards the pitch.
Brilliant. Right, shall we do random shit of the week?
Lovely.
Let's
do it.
Random shit of the week. It's random shit of the week. It's random shit of the week. It's random shit of the week. Random shit of the week.
Joking. Not another one? Oh, for God's sake.
Yes, it's another one.
It's another one. It's another one. So this is similar to one we did a few weeks ago when Russ wasn't on. So we can repeat it, but because it's random, we've randomized it. So it's not a county Frankenstein like we had last time. This is the ultimate county player. So what we're going to do again, as we're going along, please add in the comments who you think you should be. So what we're going to start with, do you want me to tell you all the positions that we're going to talk about so that people can start having to think, or do you want me just to go through one by one?
No, I go through all the positions because there's not many, is there? And then people can get their comments in, and we can read some out and things like that. Yeah.
So what we want to have who you think's had the best left foot, the best right foot, who's the best headerer, who's the best passerer, and who's got the best football intelligence. So to create the ultimate county player. So you can only have one player in one position. You can't have Kevin Francis as the best header and the best football intelligence. You can only have one or the other. So we will start off and we'll say, who do you think, for you, who's the best left foot?
Me?
Yes, yeah, go on then, Ryan. You start.
Yeah, go for Ryan.
I know we've had a slight discussion previously. Kevin Cooper. I'm not. I might be plagiarism, but I think Kevin is. No, I agree with that.
I wonder where you got that idea from.
Does anybody agree with me on this?
Get your comments in. I know Waggie does. Right. I don't agree with you, right? But here's why. Because Kevin Cooper was a superb footballer, great at dribbling. But I don't think, with left footers, you have, like Waggie's one, you always have that sweet left foot, sweeping the ball and all this kind of stuff. I don't think Kevin Cooper had that. I never saw Kevin Cooper switch it from left to right and all this kind of stuff. So I'm not going to say Kevin Cooper. I'm going to say Michael Rose because he's got magic toes, and he did have a left foot, and he scored free kicks with it as well. So he's mine.
Very good. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Best right foot. I'll go with you first, Russ. And you've got to think for yourself on this one, Ryan.
Oh, God.
I mean, best right foot. You see, I'm probably going to go with Ollie Norwood on that one.
Okay.
Because even when we got to the championship, right, we had Bennett and Marsden. Marsden was left-footed anyway, I think, wasn't he? Was he left-footed, Marsden? I think he was. We've interviewed him, and I don't think we asked, but Bennett had a good right foot, but no one could ever pass it with the right foot like Ollie Norwood can. And the range of passing, he can go high, he can drill, he does daisy cutters, all sorts of stuff, doesn't he? He does so many different range of passing. I don't think we've ever seen anything like him at the club before. That's my right foot.
See, I want to use Ollie Norwood elsewhere, so I'm.
So who have you gone for right foot then, Ryan?
I mean, there's a couple. I don't know. I used to love Lewis Cavaco, so I don't know if I'm gonna. For me, I can't use. Or actually, no, I'm not, because me. Oh, no, I am. I am, because I've scrolled it down and I've got two people I can't keep using elsewhere.
You can't just have Norwood in all four positions.
He is the ultimate county player.
With Kevin Cooper's left foot, or with Michael Rose's left foot. That's it.
It's gone through.
Yeah. Okay, no, that's cool. Best head. So sorry. For me, for the best right foot, I sort of cheated a little bit here because I picked Pilkington, but he was pretty both feet.
He was ambidextrous, was he not? I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, but he still have it because he still had a right foot, didn't he?
Yeah. So I went. I've gone for Pilks.
Sweet. Yeah. We've got a few comments in. Should we read some of the comments out?
Yeah.
So Liam Walker says left foot Kevin Cooper. So he agrees. Mark Morley, Michael Rose got magic. John Jeffers says Alan Rowe.
John Jeffers.
Not yeah. He had a sweet. God rest his soul, John Jeffers. Right foot Liam Walker says Sean Connolly. Stu Hope says left foot Dave Logan. Dave Logan was miles better than Michael Rose, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about the left foot only.
No, he's answered that as we've got on to right foot, hasn't he?
No.
Oh no, left. So yes,
left foot Dave Logan. Then Logie Bear. It was miles better than Rose. He might have been a miles better player, but what about his sweet left foot? So yeah. Right, and then right foot we've got Norwood, and then Stuart Oakes again says Mally Brown.
He's old school, isn't he? That's Stuart Oak.
Yeah, he's out with Stu, I know. Way before our time.
So, best header. I'll start with you, Ryan. Go on. Who's the best header that we've had?
Right. For me, you could look at it two ways. Obviously, you know, attacking, defending. But for me, Flinney was just a colossus at centre half and just absolutely outstanding. You know, honourable mention to Brett Angel or Kev Francis for it. But I just think for me, there was only ever one winner when it dropped near centre half, and Flinney got, for me. So yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Russ. Don't think we can argue with that. Just to say, Ryan, you was fanboying about Flinney before. When we had the in-person podcast, we're like, it's Flinney.
It's Flinney.
He's like, oh, shut up. But yeah, header. Yeah. So you've mentioned Flinney. See, I'd have gone with Flinney, but I can't. Angel, let me say. Am I wrong in saying Ian Halliwell? Just for that goal against Everton away, the 2-2. Right. Am I allowed to say that? Is that the only time you ever headed the ball? I don't know, possibly. But it gave me a great moment, away as a 15-year-old away at Everton. So I'll go a bit left field and say Ian Halliwell.
Okay. I had to think about this, and I was sort of up there saying about Flinney as well. But then I was thinking, what about Ash Palmer?
Oh God, yeah.
Ash Palmer, he scored quite a few headers, didn't he?
He had a song. He had his own song, for God's sake, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. He could head bricks.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. That's my best header.
Headers from the comments. We got Mike Flynn, Dave Moore, who's in Spain, I think he said. Hi, Dave, you okay? He says Jim Fryer, as does Alan Rowe. My friend would say Jim Fryer, but he's old school. No, well, happy with Jim Fryer. Absolutely, he's one of the legends, and he's on the wall. And Stu Hope says head Flynn is headed back into the box for Dowie's goal. Yeah.
Well, that's the other one that we could have mentioned. Dowie.
Yeah, I was going to say the best headers. An honourable mention, hasn't it?
Honourable mention, definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
Pity we didn't do one for looks as well. He could have had that as well, couldn't he?
We could do one for looks.
That was when we did Frankenstein.
Oh, he was one.
We could have stopped for that.
You know when you did that, you didn't mention Harry Cardwell, did you, for looks?
No, I said Brad Hills.
Yeah.
I think Andy said Paddy Madden.
Did he?
Yeah, because he looks like him, doesn't he? And I can't remember what the fan guest at the time said. He went a bit. He went old school. I can't remember who he actually said now. But we had a bit of a difference with that. But yeah, so we've got the best passer. So we'll start with you, Russ, because you've already struck right foot with Norwood.
Tell you what, I've
shot yourself in the right foot there.
Yeah, I have. Bloody hell. Jesus Christ. What have I done here? What have I done here, lads? Jesus. Bloody hell. Best passer now. Shit. Because it's obviously Ollie Norwood, isn't it? He's got the best right foot. Best passer. Did we have a left footer that was a great passer? None really stick out. Okay, right. In that case, then, I'm going to say the best passer. Oh, shit. Oh, dead air's a crime. Oh, I don't know.
I've gone, and if I'm remembering this correctly, Kareem Fradim. I used to always think he was really good from back in the day. I
mean, he was class.
Yeah. So I put him just as a bit of a left field one. Not that I want to influence your decision, of course, Russ.
No. I mean, people are saying Marsden in the comments. I kind of agree with that, really, because I don't remember him being like a quality long range passer, like different kinds of passes. But I do remember he didn't lose the ball often, did he? Which says that he got his pass off in the right, at the right time. So, yeah, I'm gonna say Marsden then.
Okay, Ryan.
See, I need to use Norwood for something else. So I'm gonna say. There's not many left, so I don't think people need a lot of thinking about this. I need him for intelligence. So I'm going to say Sars. I think and I know it might be a bit of a curveball, but I think when he used to get the ball out of his feet and you watch him zip it from one side to the other, I think he just really, and he showed this season, I think he gives, at Bradford, I think he used to give us something different, and I think his range of passing as well. And he was like that glue for a bit for us. So, yeah, for me, Sars.
Yeah, I think that. I think going back to Paddy Madden as well. Some of the balls that he used to be able to play, certainly like the National League season. Was it the ball through to Hippolyte where he sort of flicked it with his outside, just curled it with the outside of his boot and just played it perfectly in front of him. So, yeah, there's another one just to throw in. So, a lot of people passers are saying Marsden, aren't they?
Yeah. Kind of got me out of jail that a bit.
yeah. Alan Rowe, Bennett or Frayne?
Tom Bennett.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And now I'll start with Russ because I think we know what Ryan's going to say.
Yeah, I think
we know what I'm going to say as well. So
the edge of the film.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, the best football intelligence, the best football brain.
Yeah, so I've got one for this, and it's my favourite ever player, Tom Bennett. Right.
Tom Bennett.
Yeah, because that's the guy that he was my hero growing up. So because he just had it all. He was unlocking. That goal against Blackpool just stands out a mile for me. That is the epitome of intelligence when you get in those areas. To sort of do what he did, loft it over with his right foot, let it drop with his left foot into the corner, railway end, happy days. So yeah, Tom Bennett for me, 100%.
Fair enough. Got yourself well out of jail there with Norwood as well then, didn't you?
Brilliant. I appreciate it.
That's what I mean. I didn't want to. Well, yeah, I suppose, yeah.
So, Ryan, who have you picked for
I know it's a surprise for everybody. I think I'm going for. Honestly, I know we spoke about it before. Joking apart, he could, and I know we all have we have our favourites from when we're younger, and that tends to be where we romanticise a little. But Ollie Norwood for me is just the way he reads the game. I think outstanding. The plays that he sees, probably 2 or 3 plays before everybody else sees. He's just an absolute. For me, he's shoulders, head and shoulders above, really.
Yeah. Same for me. It's just he never looks rushed.
No,
whenever he gets the ball, he never looks rushed, and he just, as you say, he just looks up. There we go, and it's going there. And as you say, it's because of that range of passing that he has with his beautiful right foot that gives him the best intelligence as well.
It's when it leaves his foot, and you already applauded before it's landed. It's because it's very rarely it's going to go out for a throw, or it's going to be a right, or it's going to be a couple of minutes. It's normally right on. It's like he could pick the toenail out. He zips it, and it's the pace it goes at. It's the precision, because you got a lot of players that can play it, but with no pace, but be precise the other way around. But he's just. And it's a lot of times people might miss it. It's those little interchangeable 1-2s in the centre circle that gives us that time or gets us out of danger.
Yeah.
So for me, yeah.
It's even though a lot of the time those like hook passes that he does, when he's sort of got his back facing our goal and he just sort of turns and swings his foot, hooks it over the top, and it's like, how did he know that was going to go there? I know some of them go a bit, he's just clearing it, but a lot of the time it's like, even that's gone to a player, or it's gone into the an area where somebody can run into. It's just like, he's mustard.
Yeah. Honourable mentions then. So I think for Intelligence. Liam Walker says Jim
Goodwin.
Jim Goodwin. Jim Goodwin. That's a left field one. I was going to say, where does Jim Gannon fit in all this? Because Jim Gannon played in, apart from goalie, probably played every position for County. And then was the man. Forget about the manager stuff because this is purely about the play stuff. Is Jim Gannon a jack of all trades and a master of none? So he doesn't fit in any of those 5 categories.
Yeah, I think like for the very reason you just said, Russ, he kind of talks himself out of being, because he's just just good at a couple of them, but not exceptional enough to be, to tick a box on.
Yeah, he's not got that single trait that really stands out. He's, as you say, he's decent at all of them, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say, yeah, you can't not mention him.
No, honourable mention. There's probably loads that we've missed, to be fair, in honourable mentions, but we'd be here all bloody day otherwise. Drew Robinson, the creator of the soundtrack of our random shit of the week, is Drew Robinson. Intelligence is either Norwood or Bait for me.
Bait as well, yes.
That Bait, because I didn't even think because he's carrying, he's injured all the time. But Bait, some of his, I think when he's playing and when he's fit, he glues that defense set. He's that conduit creates. It just makes life easier. And I think it'd be great to see him and Norwood together when he's fully fit, and just give Norwood a little bit of that as well, as because he's tending to do that Bait role at the minute, but having that kind of license to be a bit more inspirational with his passing. You know what he's doing now, but even focus on that a little bit more than having to be that cover role of having to be that conduit, if you know what I mean. I'm kind of rambling on what I meant, but I think you both got my point early doors on that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
yeah, definitely.
Even if you didn't.
Right, before we wrap up, I'm just going to play this little interlude, and then we'll get into wrapping up.
Okay, so you're saying that Corey's in there because I think you're full of shit. He has to start then, otherwise he's getting called out.
No, definitely.
So,
definitely Corey's in there.
Oh, mate,
Hey,
have you got a change?
Yeah, I've got into my Overpass t-shirt.
Oh.
Don't they sponsor the Scarf Bergara Wore podcast?
Indeed they do.
So thank you to Overpass Clothing for sponsoring us. Really appreciate it, Jimmy. Jimmy is a good lad. So that's good. So wrapping up, so cheers to all of our Patreon members. We are in the finals of the Northwest Football Awards and the Football Content Awards. Happy days. They're both been announced in November.
Yeah, you can still vote for the National Content Awards.
Yeah, the Content Awards can still vote for. Yeah, good shout. So please do head over to our website, and there's an article there that you can click on, and there's a little instructions. You don't have to put any personal details in. It's all anonymous, so do get voting. Vote more than once if you want to. Help us out.
Different browsers, different devices.
Yeah,
I think I voted about 6 times for us.
Put VPNs on the go,
That'll be the nicest thing a VPN's ever been used for.
Yeah, use it for good. Let's start using it for good, fellas. Let's start using it for good. Even it out.
So thank you to all of our Patreon members for being members. If you want to become a Patreon member, then head over to our website and our Patreon page. Links are always in the descriptions and everything like that. £3 a month, you get all of this stuff ad free. You're helping the podcast. There's a monthly giveaway, and you get first refusal to some of the events that we hold. Someone asked before about the Tony Dinning podcast. We've just had it okayed by Tony Dinning, so I just need to take a few things out, and then it will be going out to Patreons first.
It'll be about 4 minutes long.
yeah. Oh, what a night! He was such a laugh.
It was top.
So thank you to that. But seriously, thank you to everybody else that watches, chats with us, everything, listens, anything, whether you're a patron or not. All of that leads us to getting into these award ceremonies. So that's really good. We haven't won any yet, but that's not the point. We're in good company, especially the Football Content Awards. The United Stand, 2.7 million followers. Mark Goldbridge is part of that lot. And we're going up against them. Yeah.
I just vote for him just to keep him on the screen, just so we can all laugh at him.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a bit of feather in our cap. But yeah, cheers to everybody. So final thoughts then, Waggie, Ryan, what are you thinking for Saturday? Bit of a quick prediction. Blackpool at home.
Go on, Waggie, you go.
I'm
only going to copy whatever you say. I'm going to say the same thing.
You're just gonna disagree now, aren't you?
No,
we copy you.
I think there's a lot depends on if they get a new manager in by then and who that new manager is. There's I think murmurings it's going to be Richie Wellens, which that'll be.
No, surely.
I've seen rumours of it. I don't know how true that is. I still think that they're going to come at us, and I think that's going to suit us. And I think that is going to be a 3 or a 4-0. This will be our Bolton of last year. So that's my prediction, 3 or 4-0.
Yeah, nice. I think when I heard that Bruce had been sacked, my heart sank a little bit because I'm thinking, like, if it was last season, I think we're going to go out and we're going to rip them to shreds, but it's always that little upshot after you get rid of a manager and everyone wants to start kind of fighting for the place again, start making a name for themselves. I just hope we're at that. I hope that, as I mentioned before, that file moment. I hope that we've just crossed that bridge that we needed to cross, and that Blackpool didn't come a couple of weeks ago when they might have got a result. Yeah, I think I might be a bit more conservative and say 2-0. I'd love it to be a Bolton of last season or Wrexham of the season before, and us go out there and absolutely nail them to the wall. Who knows? My head says 2-0. My heart says I'm going to agree with Waggie, and it'd be a 3 or 4-0.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same, really. My heart says a comfortable 3-0. Build on last Saturday. Forget about Tuesday. But my head is saying we'll probably end up scraping a win by a goal, probably. So yeah, some of the comments are coming in. We've got 3-0. Someone's commented 3-0. Liam Root said 3-0 County. Rooty has said 3-0 County. There you go. Happy days. Right. Don't forget to like and subscribe, share on YouTube, and rate and all that stuff on any podcast player that you're listening to us on. If you do comment on a podcast player, I will get back to you. I've been replying to everybody. We do try to reply to everybody, but please do bear with us. And yeah, we will see you on Saturday. And don't forget, it's for county fans, by county fans. So if you want to be a fan guest, get in touch. All right, Ryan, you had a good time, mate?
It's been an absolute joy. It's been genuinely, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it. And thanks to everybody for listening and watching. See you in the courtyard on Saturday.
Cheers. Thank you.
See you later.